Akcent. Słyszałem, że bardzo lubisz film Rękopis znaleziony w Saragossie. Co cię w nim urzekło, jak w ogóle na niego trafiłeś i czy jakoś rezonuje w twojej twórczości?
What I first fell in love with was the book, the Potocki book manuscript found at Saragossa, and I found that I have no idea where I found that. Oh yes, I do. I discovered that existed while reading a book about the Arabian Nights. There was a history of the Arabian Nights by a man called Robert Irwin. And in his book on the Arabian Nights, he talked about stories that have been influenced by the Arabian Nights. And one of the stories that he talked about was the Saragossa manuscript, which seemed so strange from his description that I went out and bought myself a copy of the only copy I could find at that time, which was the first sort of 13 nights of the Saragossa. The original stuff that he wrote, and read that and thought this is absolutely barking mad and quite brilliant and really, really strange, and then found a complete Saragossa manuscript and read that through and decided it was even weirder. And you know, any author who kills himself apparently believing that he is turning into a werewolf by melting down a silver samovar for bullets has to be pretty cool. You know that you know somebody's really having fun. And so I loved the Saragossa manuscript, and then a friend of mine mentioned to me that it had been made into a movie, and I said, well, why haven't I heard of this? This was 1993, 1994, and he got me, my friend Ian McDowell got me a videotape of the Saragossa manuscript, the film, and this videotape had been copied so many times that despite the fact it was a black and white film, it had started to pick up colour. You know, splotches of yellows and interesting reds. And I watched it absolutely amazed at the sort of the strange fidelity to this book that you'd think would be impossible to film, and yet they actually do the thing of nesting story inside story inside story and going from horror to humour to adventure, back to humour, back to horror, with some sex, which is always good. So I loved it, and a few years ago I mentioned in interviews how much I loved the Saragossa manuscript, and I got contacted by the people who were bringing it out on DVD, and they sent me a free copy when they brought it out on DVD. So I got to watch it without fuzzy colours, and loved it just as much as I had in the crummy video version. So yeah.